With December and the holiday season almost upon us, there are still plenty of great-looking indie games still expected to launch in what's left of the year. Hey there and welcome back to Get Indie Gaming, where today we're looking at the top 10 indie games we're most looking forward to seeing this December 2020. Let's begin with one of our most wanted co-op games of the year. Collectively, we think we first gazed upon Phogs at EGX Rezzed in London in around April of 2018, and it's tremendously exciting to see it slated to launch this coming December 6th. Based on our previous playthroughs, we suspect Phogs will be at its most fun when played in couch co-op, where you're able to control one of the heads of a two-headed dog, by way of barking, biting, and moving your body around 3 different worlds, all themed in what dogs like to do best, namely sleeping, eating, and playing. You go about solving puzzles and working together in what all delivers a super cute and enjoyable puzzler adventure, with some surprisingly in-depth boss battle mechanics. As for the single player, well, that too offers up some pretty decent enjoyable fun when you've not got anyone next to you on the couch, although part of the sparkle and banter you can have in the co-op just isn't quite there. Phogs is coming to PC via Steam, the Xbox and PlayStation, and also to the Switch and Google Stadia. Moving on, and at this month's number 9, we have Unto the End, another game we've played a few times over its development at various trade shows here and there. The last of these was EGX in London in 2019, where we collectively played through the demo alongside, we think, one of the developers. Now, what's really grabbed our attention here, not only in how it all looks and how cinematically it all appears, is how the developers have implemented what they call a read and react combat system that's been designed from the ground up specifically for the game's 2D stylings. By this, well, we mean the combat feels and plays out with some degree of intelligence. Foes react, attack, and defend themselves in line with your own aggressions, passiveness, or playstyle. The demo showed this off rather nicely, particularly at the start, where back in London, upon approaching a character, we took the advice to play things cool and keep our weapons down. In so doing, we made our intentions of wanting a peaceful interaction made known. Having done so, we were able to avoid what in all likelihood would have been a devastating attack, as we later witnessed in other players who didn't take the easy does it advice. Now, we're thinking this style of combat could be really rather intriguing, rather fun, and possibly hard to master. Unto the End launches December 9th on Steam and GOG, with it also coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and the Google Stadia platform on the same day. Switch owners, however, will need to wait a little longer, with it coming out on that platform on December the 17th. Up next, and coming from the creators of Reigns with the Orwell Estate, Animal Farm comes to PC on December 10th. Based on Orwell's 1945 novella, a satire on the rise of totalitarianism within the Soviet Union, its themes remain relevant to present day. This is the first video game adaptation and will see players take part in the animals' overthrow of their human master and look to build their own society. Players will be asked to run the farm, choose which laws to enact, with many other additional narrative choices having been added to Orwell's story. How you run things? Well, that's going to be up to you and your own moral compass.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy?
Houston, this is Amy. I copy.
Roger that, Amy. Very good.
At number 7 and launching December 3rd, Aspera was first shown off back at the 2019 PC Gaming Show and looks to be an up-and-coming strategic, narrative-driven city-building game that's set on a real-to-scale map of Mars that's been pulled together via satellite imagery. From the footage shown off in the launch trailer, it seems likely players will begin with a dry dust bowl to work with, and yet with a little bit of toil here and there, players will be able to terraform the red planet into a thriving climate where conditions match and perhaps top those back on Earth. In keeping with the realism of the scale maps, the game promises a city-building kind of experience that's thoroughly steeped in realism by way of utilization of scientific processes, both geographical and geological, with such details having been taken directly from NASA. We're thinking Aspera will likely appeal to players who enjoy a process-driven approach to problem solving, with it coming to Steam and GOG. At number 6, from one beautiful looking city builder to another with Airborne Kingdom, which is due out via the Epic Games Store December 17th. We played the demo a little while ago, and while this is also immensely aesthetically pleasing, all within a procedurally generated environment, what actually won us over when playing this was how the buildings and amenities you place on your floating platform affect its maneuverability and handling skills. Sure, we know that sounds odd, and yet part of the skill here is to balance your buildings to keep your flying city afloat straight and level. Getting that wrong can cause your city to list and flip over in some extreme cases, so finding the right balance here is crucial. As city builders go, Airborne Kingdom has a few extra tweaks here and there that make it a delightful concept. At number 5, Alba, a wildlife adventure, comes from the people who gave us Monument Valley, and it features a girl called Alba who sets off to her grandparents' island somewhere in the Mediterranean for an extended summer vacation. Upon arrival, you find the island has gone to, well, it's somewhat of a mess with litter and other such garbage strewn around the place, and it's up for you to get the serene beaches and other places back to their natural levels of beauty. This looks quite like the family-friendly game to play as we ease our way into the holiday season. Its bright colours and the handcraft art styles are a fine sight for what for us here in Northern Europe so far has been quite the damp and grey start to winter. Aside from making the island all spick and span, you're also able to catalogue the island's fauna, flora and animals with Alba's mobile, with this all being done at your own pace. All in, this sounds rather delightful.
You left a year ago to search for a cure for my affliction.
Onwards we go to this month's number 4, Call of the Sea, which is a first-person action-adventure story with puzzle elements set within the 1930s. It tells the story of Nora as she sets upon a voyage to discover what happened to her missing husband's expedition to a strange but beautiful island located in the South Pacific. Fully voiced by Cissy Jones, who you may remember from Firewatch and The Walking Dead, you search the island and piece together the clues of what happened within what appears to be a rich story full of suspense, emotion and surreal surprises. Call of the Sea comes out December 8th for PC via Steam. At number 3, and something just that little bit different to the sort of games we would usually cover here at Get Indie Gaming. Crumble is something of a mashup of some of the gameplay elements you've seen where you focus on speed, platforming and swinging base mechanics. It just shouts out so very loud to the speedrunning community, where the real aim is to get from point A to point B as fast as possible. It also comes with a single player campaign mode and a multiplayer party mode for up to 4 players, and of course there are online leaderboards for folks to see where they stand amongst fellow players worldwide. Crumble, while not particularly pushing the boat out as the saying goes, looks supremely entertaining and comes out for PC on Steam December 4th. At number 2, Haven sees 2 lovers having given up everything, left their lives behind and escaped to a lost planet to be together. In the single player mode, you'll play as the 2 characters at the same time as you go about exploring your new home, doing what seem to be JRPG-styled battles with enemy, while also building the strength of the relationship with each other. Essentially, Haven feels very much like a romantic-led space adventure, and what we've seen from the plot lines and dialogue so far, the characters are typically relatable, with the story having been all pulled together with great care. The writing suggests a real sense of intimacy between the two, while also adding a humorous twist here and there. When you're not battling enemies, you can spend your time searching for parts and materials to fix up your ship and making it nice and cozy. You're also able to cook meals together, craft items and other things, all the while engaging in meaningful conversations. As could be expected, there's a local couch co-op mode where another player can drop in and out of the game, and that's likely to be how we'll be spending most of our time with Haven. At launch, which is expected on December the 3rd, Haven will be available on PC, PlayStation 5, the Xbox platforms, and also on Xbox Game Pass. PlayStation 4 and Switch players, well, they can expect a launch onto these platforms at some point in Q1 of 2021.
I want to be with you.
number 1 in our December 2020 roundup of indie games we're most excited about playing, El Hijo, comes out December 3rd onto PC via Steam and also onto the Google Stadia platform. A console release, it says here in the press release, should be expected very soon. This is by far and away the biggest game for us in this rundown, and the one we're in all honesty most excited about playing as we head into the holiday season 2020. This one is looking to deliver a fresh spin on the traditional spaghetti western, and one that can be enjoyed by folks of all ages. Over the years we've often said we don't do too well in stealth-based games, and yet having played the demo on a few occasions over the past 18 or so months, there's something here in what the team have done with the stealthy elements that's so accessible and easy to grasp from the get-go. The challenges and threats you have here are plentiful, although from what we've seen already the team have deftly woven in a touching story of a son searching for his mother, all within handcrafting levels that are drop-dead gorgeous to look at. It's also totally non-violent, which feels in keeping with the game's overall protagonist. After all, he's just a little boy. For us, El Hijo has been a long time coming, and we're so excited to get cracking with it. You can expect a review here on the channel, so be sure to check back often for that and other related new indie game videos. So there we go, that's it for this month. Please let us know what you're thinking about these games and any others you might be excited about playing. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and if you've liked this video, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. A subscription is the easiest way to stay up to date with our indie game content, so click subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell, and as always, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time right here on Get Indie Gaming.